Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to be solving the paper 1 for computer science, syllabus code 2210, paper 11. Our paper is of 1 hour 45 minutes. Let's start. Okay, so the question 1 says, a student has a portable tablet computer. Identify 2 input devices that could be built into the portable tablet computer. We know that 2 input devices that could be our microphone for inputting voice commands in the tablet. Another could be a touch screen. And another device that we could add could be a webcam. Identify one output device that could be built into the portable tablet computer. Okay, so to hear sound, we can say we can use a speaker, we can use a screen to output, an LED, next is identify one type of storage device that could be built into the portable tablet computer. Okay, for storage, we know that we can use HDD or SSD, hard disk drive or a solid state drive. But because this is a portable tablet computer, so the better choice would be a solid state drive, as it has no moving parts and is the best option for portable. Question 2 says hypertext markup language HTML color codes can be represented as hexadecimal. Tick one box to show which statement about the hexadecimal number system is incorrect. Okay, the first one is it uses values 0 to 9 and A to F. This is a correct statement. B says it can be used as a shorter representation of binary. This is also a correct statement. It is a base 10 system. Okay, this is the incorrect statement. We know that hexadecimal is a base 16 and decimal is base 10. Let's move on to part B. Denary numbers can be converted to hexadecimal. Convert 3 denary numbers to hexadecimal, the first number being 20. Okay, so we are going to use our conversion method. 16 times 1 is 16. We get a remainder of 4. 4 is not divisible by 16. This is going to be our final answer. So 20 represented in hexadecimal is 14. 32, we know that 16 times 2 is 32. So this is going to be 2 in hexadecimal. Then comes 165. Let's solve it here. Okay, 16 times 1 is 16. We get a remainder of 16 times 10 is 160. We get a remainder of 5. 5 is not divisible by 16, so our final answer is going to be 10, 5. Now we know that we write 10 as A in hexadecimal. So our answer would be A, 5 to the base 16. Okay, let's move on to question number 3. It says the binary number 10100011 is stored in random access memory, which is RAM. A logical shift of 3 places is performed on the binary number. Give the 8-bit binary number that will be stored after the shift has taken place. Okay, so first let's write this 10100011. Now it is a logical shift of 3 places to the left, which means that each of the digit is going to be shifted 3 places to the left. So 1, 2, 3. This would basically come here. Then after this, we write this number 1, 1. Then it is 0, 0, 0. Now there are 3 spaces empty over here, so we're going to fill that with 0. Our final answer would be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Part B says tick one box to show which statement about a logical left shift of 2 places is correct. Okay. We know that if we are shifting to the left, so one shift to the left multiplies the number by 4. So it multiplies the number by 2. And if we are shifting it 2 places to the left, it means that it will multiply the number by 4. Okay. 10100011 can be stored as a 2 complement integer. Convert the 2 complement integer to denary. Show all your working. Okay. This is 10100011. Okay. We know that starting from the right hand side, this has the power 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and this is negative 128 because this is a 2's complement integer. So when we are going to perform addition of minus 128 plus 32 plus 2 plus 1, we're going to get our answer as negative 93. So this binary represented in 2's complement would give us an answer of negative 93. The binary number is measured as byte because it has 8 bits. How many bytes are there in a KB byte? We know that 1 byte, 1 KB byte is equals to 1024 bytes. Okay, then question 4 says data packets are transmitted across a network from one computer to another computer. Describe the structure of a data packet. Okay, this is for 3 marks. We know that the structure of the data packet includes the header, then the payload, and then comes the packet trailer. Because you only have to describe, so we're not going to give the description of each of these. Okay, then it says packet switching is used to transmit the data packets across the network. Identify the device that controls which path is taken by each data packet. So the router is the device that determines the path that will be taken by each data packet. Serial data transmission is used to transmit the data packets across the network. Explain why serial data transmission is used to transmit the data packets. Okay, because we are transmitting data over a network, so it means that serial data transmission is a more preferable method of data transmission over longer distances. Another point we can add over here is that serial data transmission is more reliable and the bits arrive in sequence, reducing the chances of data being skewed or data arriving out of order. Next is, a computer uses both random access memory RAM and a secondary storage. State the purpose of a secondary storage. Okay, so secondary storage is used for storing files and data permanently. One type of secondary storage is optical. Circle 3 examples of optical storage. Okay, so optical storage means the storage that works with light. It is CD, DVD, and Blu-ray disc. Explain why a computer needs RAM. So the purpose of RAM in computer is to store data and software currently running or that is currently in use, and RAM stores data temporarily Let's move on to part D. The computer processes instruction using the fetch, decode, execute cycle. Draw an annotated diagram to show the process of fetch stage of the fetch, decode, execute cycle. We will have to mention the registers. We will have to mention the control unit and the special purpose register, which is CIR. And we have to mention the RAM. Okay. Our control unit, then comes the program counter, PC, then come the MAR register, and then MDR registers. And here comes our RAM. So the program counter is incremented for the first step. Then memory address register holds the address of the data which needs to be fetched, which is sent to the RAM. RAM then sends the data at the memory address in the MAR, and then inside our control unit there is a current instruction register, and the data is sent to the current instruction register to be processed. Okay, let's move to question 6. A computer needs firmware and system software to operate. State the purpose of a firmware. Okay, so we know that firmware is used to permanently store the startup instructions, which are also known as the BIOS in ROM. Okay, there's one example of firmware. So we can say basic, input, output, system, the BIOS. Okay, give two example of system software. So a very common example is operating system, and second one is the utility software. Okay, data is encrypted to keep it safe during transmission. Complete the paragraph about asymmetric encryption. Use the terms from the list. Some of the terms will not be used. You should only use a term once. Okay. It says dash is encrypted into dash using a dash. The encrypted data is then transmitted from the sender to the receiver. The encrypted data is then decrypted. Okay. So we know that the text before the encryption is known as the plain text. Plain text is encrypted into ciphertext. The text that has been encrypted is known as the ciphertext. Using encryption, and we use the key. There are two keys, public and parallel. So for encrypting the data, we use a public key for asymmetric encryption. The encrypted data is then transmitted from the sender to the receiver, and then the encrypted data is decrypted using a private key. Because this is an asymmetric data encryption, so we use the private key to decrypt the data. Okay. Let's move to question 8. It says a farmer uses an automated robot to plant seeds in the field. State what is meant by the robot being automated. Okay, so automated means it comes from the word automatic, and automatic means that there is no human intervention required. So we say no human intervention required. Okay, great. Give three characteristics of a robot. First is that robots are programmable. You can program them to perform different tasks for us. The second characteristics of robot is that the robot can move on its own. And perform the tasks efficiently. And the third characteristic is that robot has electrical components. These characteristics make the robot different from humans. Okay. The robots plant seeds and stops when it reaches a fence. It then turns and continues planting seeds. The robot uses sensors and microprocessor to know when it reaches a fence. Explain how the robot uses sensors and a microprocessor to know when it has reached a fence. Okay, so over here we're going to talk about the sensor, which sensor we will be using, the robot will be using, and how it's going to work with the microprocessor to perform its task. So a proximity sensor will be used. The sensor sends analog data, which is converted to digital data using analog to digital converter. The digital data is sent to the microprocessor. The microprocessor compares the received values with the pre-stored values. If the values are within the range, the robot continues moving. And if the data or the values are outside the range, Then microprocessor sends a signal to the robot to stop. And this process keeps on repeating until the robot is turned off. Okay, then give 2 advantages of the farmer using an automated robot to plant seeds. Okay, so we know that the robot requires no labor costs like humans, and the robot is faster and more efficient. Okay, give 2 disadvantages of the farmer using an automated robot. Okay, so the electrical components of the robot may require maintenance, and are costly, and the robot takes away the jobs of the humans. Okay, the robot is adaptive to have machine learning capabilities. Explain how this will improve the robot. So, because of the machine learning capabilities, the robot can adapt according to the changes in its tasks and the changes in the data, making it more efficient. Next question 9. 9 says, explain, a company owner has installed a new network. Data is correct before it is transmitted across the network. The company owner is concerned that the data might have errors after transmission. Explain how the data might have errors after transmission. Okay, so we know that the data during transmission could be lost or corrupted. The bits could arrive in wrong order, increasing the chances of data becoming skewed, and the data collisions or data interference could cause the data to be corrupt. The company owner decides to introduce an error detection system to check the data for errors after transmission. The error detection system uses an odd parity check and a positive automated repeat query. Describe how the error detection system operates to check for errors. Okay, it's using an odd parity. So the number of ones are counted in each byte. Each byte contains a parity bit. As it is following odd parity, the number of ones in each byte must be odd. The number of ones are recounted at the receiving end. If the number of ones are odd, then an acknowledgement is sent so the next data packet can be sent. If the number of ones in any byte are even, no acknowledgement is sent. if the sender does not receive an acknowledgement within the specific time frame, the data packet is resent. Give two other error detection methods that could be used. Echo check and ARQ have already been mentioned, so we can check. We can say, sorry, odd parity and ARQ have been mentioned, so we can say echo check or checksum, and we could even mention even parity check. The company owner also installs a firewall to help protect the network from hackers and malware. Explain how the firewall operates to help protect the network. Okay, so a criteria is set for the arriving traffic. The traffic is examined and checked if it matches the criteria. If the criteria is not matched, the arriving traffic is rejected. This way, the ports used by hackers can be blocked to avoid unwanted traffic in the network. Our last question for this paper is, give two examples of malware that firewall can help protect the network from. Okay, so we can talk about viruses. We could mention worms. We could mention Trojan horse. And we could even mention the spyware. That's it for today. Best of luck for your exams. Take care. Allah Hafiz and goodbye.